Hello, and welcome to my presentation about my technical communication practicum at the University of North Texas as part of the graduate program here in professional and technical communications. So my name is Trent Gainey, and here on this slide you get a lovely picture of where I did my practicum at my internship, and that is at Southwestern Baptist Theological Seminary. The picture you see is what we call the Hill. It's one of the highest points in all of Tarrant County, and it is where our offices are held here for Southwestern and our logo down there at the bottom. So to get started, a little bit about me. So I graduated in 2015 with a Bachelor of Arts in English Literature and Biblical Languages from Howard Payne University in Brownwood, Texas. I then went on to become an English teacher. I taught for 4 years in the K through 12 public education space here in Texas. And I taught courses over English literature, some over phonetics, and I also taught some remedial STAR courses as well. Alongside being a teacher, for 7 years, I've been a pastor as a part of local church staffs at various cities across Texas. And then in 2025, I completed my Master's of Divinity in Philosophy of Religion and Ethics at Southwestern Baptist Theological Seminary, where I did my practicum. So, how I got this internship. So, while I was a student earning my MDiv, I joined the Swibbits team in January of 2024 as a writing specialist in our Center for Writing and Rhetoric. So that is our team that helps with all things writing at Southwestern. Alongside that, during my interview, I found out that my boss needed a teaching assistant. And so, because of my background in teaching English literature and writing, I joined my boss to help out with the Freshman Composition 2 courses, or ENG 1213. My boss is Dr. Amy Kreider. She has 30 years of higher education experience in writing, in both the professional and technical sense, as well as rhetoric and composition. And so when I needed to do a internship and a practicum for my degree, I sat down with her. She's been my biggest supporter. And I said, what are some things that I can do to meet the needs of our local institution here while also continuing my education at UNT? And the need that we had was a new doctoral seminar. And when we sat down to get prepared to do this entire project, we asked what we have in front of us, and it was a catch-all bag of clutter. And so we had our work cut out for ourselves in order to get this project started. So my internship is completed at the place that I currently work at, doing a little bit of my day-to-day operations, but with a special focus on the skills that I have learned here at UNT. So a little bit about the company. So what is SWIBITS is how we commonly refer to it, or Southwestern Baptist Theological Seminary. So Southwestern is a theological institution. It has about 2,500 students, and it is currently the fifth largest seminary in the United States. So we have a very diverse student population. Over 50 countries are represented in our student body. And we have students ranging as young as 16 that are taking some dual credit courses, all the way up to an 85-year-old that I got to meet who is working on his doctoral program in pastoral ministry. We have students who are Texas residents, some who are across the United States as a whole, and we have students all across the globe. One of our ENG 1213 composition students was taking classes live in Egypt and staying up quite late to attend class. So the needs of the students when it came to kind of answering audience needs for this practicum, the students are here for a theological education. And so that's slightly different than many other universities and what they offer, because a lot of our students are either going to become pastors in local church settings, they may become missionaries, either here in the United States or all across the world. But many of our students go on to work for nonprofit or humanitarian type of companies. So that's our organization as a whole. My specific department where I did my internship with is known as the Center for Writing and Rhetoric. And you can see our logo there on the bottom right of the screen. And what we do as an organization primarily is paper submissions and one-on-one consultations with students. So during the school year, we will be meeting with students, helping out with the entire writing process. But in the summer, the CWNR, which is normally a team made up of doctoral students and retired professors, we get to work on projects. And our two main projects this summer fit very nicely with the needs for this internship and practicum. So the responsibilities that I had for this internship, one was to continue meeting with students to do the day-to-day operations of writing seminars and mini tutoring sessions, but to also help with two other key areas. The first is course design. So I needed to practice some instructional design to help out with a brand new doctoral seminar and also spend some time revamping our freshman composition course. And then the more exciting thing to me was doing a content inventory. So because the team is usually made up of retired professors or current doctoral students, the turnover is quite high as students are finishing out their programs or retired professors get an adjunct position somewhere else, things like that. So we have 4 or 5 years worth of material since COVID that's been designed by all sorts of fantastic writers and team members, but is kind of a catch-all. So none of us really knew how many resources we had. Did we have duplicates? Were we meeting the needs of our students? Those kinds of questions were all floating around. And so we decided a content inventory would be something that would be quite useful for our team. So some of the software that was used at this internship at Southwestern, the first is Google Sheets. In order to do a content inventory, you need to have some type of database that helps you organize all those things. And Google Sheets is just quite pretty, if I'm honest with you. It looks really, really nice, and you'll get to see that in here a few slides. The second software that was used most often was the Canvas learning management software. So Canvas, similar to what we use as students here at UNT, is the same software that is used at Southwestern. And so in order to develop a new course, I had to familiarize myself with Canvas. The third software used was Zoom. So Zoom is how I met with my supervisor to keep track of the projects. It's how I meet with students and also professors to be able to see what kinds of things that they wanted implemented into the courses for our incoming doctoral students. And the last software that was used is Microsoft Word. So that's where we would make handouts, templates, and style guides for all of our students to use both in class as well as just writing resources in general. So the first project that I took on is this brand new doctoral seminar. And so the incoming doctoral students will go through a 2-year, 4-semester writing process to help prepare them for what kind of academic research and writing looks like. And so on the left here, you can see the before. This is a blank canvas screen. The moment that a course gets made, sometimes there are templates that professors use or TAs use to create them. But because this was a brand new course, what I had to start with is exactly what you see here. Just a beautiful white blank page. And so to give you an idea of some instructional design principles that we've learned here at UNT, and also some adult learning objectives that have been covered. This is the page that we have running right now. So our students need a graphic that helps them know what course they're in. It works as our kind of image file there whenever they're operating in Canvas. We have a landing page here that is going to offer the very vital and key important details, since this is just a 1-hour course. For those students to be able to meet where they need to meet at the correct times. And then further down here, you can see some of our quick connect buttons that will allow students to quickly navigate the course for the 4 or 5 most important factors. And so similar to how the rest of a course will work, you'll see the example here. My goal for this course was to make the user experience as clean and neat as possible. So what we have here is a new addition to many Southwestern courses that I learned from my time as a UNT student, and that's this Before You Start tab. This helps our students, who many are coming from other universities, understand some of the things that are available to them at Southwestern and a chance to see important course details and dates, as well as to get to meet the professor. And then the module format that we went with is three parts. We have our lectures tab, our resources tab, and then an assignments tab. This is compared to the UNT example. And our goal in creating this was for the first semester to go with the model that you see here on the left. But we want to take real-time data with the students who are going through this course and compare that to a second semester where we use this UNT model, which is do, read, and watch. And so I'm very interested to start collecting data points. Even though the internship is about to end, the learning continues. And so I'm interested to see for our specific students and the needs that they have, which of these two models best serves our students. The second project is this beautiful color-coded content inventory that you have on your screen. And so there were documents that were hidden away in files that our very small team had no clue existed. And so the way that this content inventory flows is left to right. We have an ID for every item so that we can clearly target and mark and be using the same language to make sure that the document we're referring to is the same. We have our resource names here for exactly how the file was uploaded into our Canvas system. We had a content type out of three different types. So you can see blue for handout, brown for template, or this kind of gray for style guides. Those are the three main types of content that our CW&R team makes. And then we have our audience here. So TBC references our undergraduate students. The blue swibbits is our master's program students, and the green is our doctoral students. Rather than doing a scale of 1 to 3 for useful, I just have a check mark for yes or no. If the piece of content is useful, it gets a check mark, and if it's not useful, it remains unchecked. Our usability score here is how easy it is for the piece to be navigated for students, and is it accomplishing the goal that it set out to accomplish. So that's on a scale of 1 to 3. You can see all three colors represented here for different pieces. Readability is especially important because many of our students are not English first language speakers. And so we want to make sure that our content is readable for all of our students who are spending and investing many years here at Southwestern. This column H here is for an update or action needed because the content has been made by a team that is ever evolving. We have a lot of needs to be able to update or get rid of pieces. And so you can see some of the notes here in the note column are helping me and the rest of my team know what to do as far as what update or action is needed. And the last column here is to help us with our life cycle, to know how often pieces are being updated, to understand how old a piece may be. Age is not always a bad thing, but if something is being updated, like if we get a new edition of Turabian, that would be something that we'd need to go back and look at some of those older pieces. So what did I learn during this internship, this practicum at Southwestern? The first piece is that writing styles are different. I'm very used to academic writing in the classroom and working with students in that way. Professional and technical writing is a different genre. It's a different skill set. And so I got to really think through and practice what that looks like in this internship. The second is brand voicing. We currently do not have a style guide for our own department or even for our instructional design across Canvas courses. And so this internship allowed me to see a need that our university has and to be able to bring that to my supervisors so that our institution can find a better way forward. Alongside brand voice is a realignment with the core language that our university uses. We want to have a common brand voice that sounds like Southwestern across all the documents that we make. The third category for reflections is adult learning. It was really fun to see how instructional design leads to new knowledge and being able to map a course out that way. And the final reflection is this is all a work in progress. Working as a small team is difficult. Uh, Learning to think like a consumer whenever I've already completed a program is also difficult. And for myself personally, just balancing projects throughout this summer while also taking classes was a piece that I needed to reflect on. And how did UNT help me with this? For coursework, I have four courses listed here: content analysis and content strategies with Dr. Becker and Dr. Kim were the key pieces that helped me do this content inventory and audit to the level that I needed to do. TECM 5500 with Dr. Jill is all about teaching professional technical writing and adult learners, which was of great use in helping create our new doctoral seminar class. And this last one here with Dr. Lamb really helped me see how the pieces of content that we have can be evaluated through different levels of edits. So the coursework, just great help overall in the practical world of working here at Southwestern. And what's next for this project? Through these skills that I've learned while these projects have gone underway, the goal is to strengthen the writing program administration at Southwestern to be able to provide top tier writing support and courses for our students and to create content that aligns with our core values and branding. And if there were anything that I would change for my internship, the first would just be communicate more often with my team and with my supervisor. Having those lines of communication always helps way more than I thought it would. The second thing was to not be afraid to dream big. Doing a content inventory was quite the terrifying thing for me 3 months ago. And so it was a pretty big dream to be able to do a full content inventory. And it's still a work in progress, which leads to this last point here. What would I change? I would tell myself to be more comfortable failing, of trying to learn new programs and software, to try different things in the course development. And then whenever it falls flat, to just get back up again and keep working because professional and technical writing is there to help the consumer have the best final product. And so if you are a student that is looking to get involved in this program or you're considering what UNT can do for professional and technical communications in your career, I hope that this presentation helps push you forward to apply, to put your skills to the test, to learn more, and to see what is out there for this career. I hope that this has been helpful for you and just 100% encourage getting out in the field and putting these things to the test. And once again, thank you so much for your time and for checking this out. Thank you.